Welcome to Network Marketing Pro. My name is Eric Worre, and today I'm here with Whitney Husband. Whitney.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for having me.
Whitney is one of my dear friends. I'm super proud of her, not because I can take credit for any of her success, but because she has, as a single mom, gone out there in her 20s and built a very large organization, built it quickly, built it strong. She's a hard charger, hard worker. So congratulations on being here.
Thank you.
Tell everybody, give me the whole background. When did you first get introduced to network marketing?
I first was introduced whenever my son was 5 months old. So about a little over 4 years ago.
A little over 4 years ago. And how old are you now?
28.
28, so you were 24 at the time?
I think, or 25, I think so.
24, 25?
I might have been 23.
Whatever, 23, 24, 25, in that range?
Yeah.
Early 20s?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And single mom, and you must have lived in a big city?
No.
No.
I have grown up my whole life in a really small farm town. One red lot, about 2,000 people.
Yeah.
In the country, in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah? So 2,000 people, little tiny town. Are you a cowgirl?
Yes, I
Yeah.
rodeoed my whole life.
You rodeoed your whole life. What events?
Barrel racing and
Yeah.
pole bending.
Are you good?
I was.
You were? It's over now?
I stopped when I was 18.
Oh, okay.
By my whole life.
Do you have,
My whole life ended at 18.
Do you have like trophies and
Yes.
ribbons?
Well,
and...
we actually won money.
Really? Like how much? What was your best year in rodeo?
For my 4 years of high school, I think with my scholarships, it was like a little over 10,000.
10,000?
So I used it all for
over
college.
4 years?
My
So you used it for college? Good for
saved
you.
it.
Very, very nice.
For me.
So where were you living? You had a 5-month-old little boy. Where were you living when you first got involved?
I was living on my parents' land in a double-wide trailer.
Double-wide trailer. So on a dirt road, probably.
It's blacktop, but
Blacktop now?
pretty much.
Yeah, but in the country.
Very country.
Country.
Very on the lake, in the boonies, in the sticks.
Yeah.
Very country, on a farm.
Right. We don't talk about companies or products when we do these interviews, but who came to you and said, "Hey, you should check out this thing"?
I actually saw someone that I had known previously on Facebook talking about it, and I just thought I had actually been looking to find a job of some sort because I had gone to school, and when I had my son, I had to start staying home. And I just couldn't find anything, so I was toggling with going back to school or getting a teaching certificate so I could go teach at the high school. But I had also looked at online surveys and just all kinds of stuff like that, and so I saw this company, and I was like, well, I can use the products, and maybe I could sell to a few people. So I did that for about a year and a half.
So a year and a half, you're involved, and you just found it online. Nobody contacted you. Nobody put you on their prospect list.
No.
You just saw you were searching, and as a single mom, it's a little bit limited search, right? Because
Yes.
what are you going to do with daycare, and what are you going to do?
Yes.
A lot of single parents get stuck in this trap.
Yes.
That if they get a job, then all the daycare eats up all the income from the job, and it's practically better off that they just stay at home.
Yeah, that's exactly because my parents were such big supporters for us and helping us, basically survive. We had government assistance, but they were taking care of the rest. And so my mom worked full time and had a really good job, and we did the math. And between me driving 30 minutes to town and I wouldn't have government assistance anymore, and then daycare and clothes for work, it was just to make $10, $12 an hour, it was never going to be worth it.
Right.
So my mom and dad said, well, you stay home for a while and we'll just figure it out. So I did that company for about a year and a half, and I actually ended up going back to school to work on a second degree. And
Because that was going to be maybe that'll take you to $14 an hour.
yeah, it was going to be about $4,500 a month.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, so that would take you, I don't know, $20 an hour or something.
So we knew that would be enough to where we would not struggle,
Right.
anymore. And I had done that for about a year when I switched companies.
Right. Right.
And
So you just decided that instead of just using the product or whatever, you were going to start to build an organization.
my first year and a half, all I ever did was sell products. and which I could do. I think the salesman kind of runs in my family. My dad was a very well car salesman. My grandpa was the milkman.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of runs in our family, and so I could sell products, and I knew how to give customer service. And when I switched companies, I started to realize, and watching from others, that if I would offer this to other people and I would help other people, that I could actually build something.
So you could search for people maybe like yourself, people who are looking to build something from home, people looking for something flexible. They could start with not much money, all the benefits we talk about in network marketing, right? And you gotta go, so you found this thing online, you sold some product, and then you kind of found what you're doing in network marketing and decided that you're gonna grow a team. Not just sell products, you're still gonna sell products.
Yes.
Because everybody's selling products.
Yes.
But you're going to grow a network as well, and you're going to start to get some leverage in your life. So talk about when you started doing that.
Okay.
What was, walk me through your first 90 days of doing that.
So I was at that, whenever I joined, I that's when the Facebook really kind of started to really take off on social selling. And so while I was at school, I had my school notebook, and I would make a list of people, and I would go through my Facebook of who lived in different towns, all around. I never dreamed of going outside of my warm network or outside of my state or anything like that. And so I made a list, and I would contact them, and I would just ask them basically to look at what I had, and them offer it to their friends. Just having a party. That's all I was doing. I wasn't trying to recruit them or anything. I was just trying to get my name out there is all I wanted to do.
Right, so they would like host a
party.
A party, and
online.
you would and online, and you did this on Facebook, yeah?
Yes, I never left my house. I did a few vendor shows, but other than that, I was in school, and the only times that I didn't have Aiden was literally while I was at school. And I had him by myself, and so there was no way that.
So talk to me about what a party is on Facebook.
So we just we would find
Person
a hostess.
says, I say, I'll host a party on Facebook.
Yes.
What does that mean?
So she would tell me yes.
No,
okay.
It's just
okay.
me.
So you tell me yes,
Yeah.
and so I would set it all up for you and give you the rundown of what we're gonna do and what what's required of you to do, and then.
And what is that?
It would be you inviting your friends. The more you tell your friends, the more that's gonna help you for your benefit for the party, and.
So I would just invite friends to what?
To the online party.
So is it like a special page or something?
You can do it. We used to do it in Facebook groups, and then now we do it at Facebook events.
Facebook events. So you create a Facebook event, that's your online party, and you invite people to it.
It's your friends, and you can message, text, call. You can invite them. You can send a link and say, join.
How long does this party last?
10 days.
10 days. So it's a 10-day party on Facebook.
10 days was the max.
The reason why I'm asking these, kind of more detailed questions about this, because I think people are fascinated.
Yes, they are.
With how social media is impacting the way that we're connecting with customers and distributors, right? So the fact you kind of cracked the code is the reason why I'm asking. So you set up a Facebook event, and it's Eric's
virtual party.
Virtual party.
That's like really old school, but
but come
it could be anything.
Come to my party.
Online bash or
my online party, Eric's online party. Come join me, and I go invite all my friends. I say, go find me on Facebook. Here's the link. Come and be part of this party. It's going to last for 10 days, and your support would be amazing. And come check it out. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and we would together. We would post about it. So if you have already tried the product or service, then you can give your own testimony, which is best. Right.
So I'd start bragging about the product.
Yes.
Hey, I tried this thing. Come check out my party.
And then, as the host of it, I would basically just be giving all the information. But we also do fun stuff in it. We do games and ask questions and finding out.
So is it just like inside that event, is it just a bunch of all people commenting inside there and talking inside there?
And liking and they can invite their friends.
And they can invite their friends. And is it inside that event, are the products just easy available for sale there, or does it have to go through a process, or what? How does that work?
So the hostess would actually have their own shopping link. So when the customer was ready to order, they would just go to the link and they would be taken to the website and they would order.
They could just start ordering.
So the only thing we would do would be promote it.
Okay.
And
so you'd promote it with this person.
yes.
Just say, hey, if you open up your influence, I can help you make a few bucks and have some fun, right? And your friends are gonna like the products anyway.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great. So come on in here and I give you your special link. Now, does this person have to be a distributor yet?
No.
So
No, they're just a customer.
So they're a customer, but they have a link, and what benefits do they get when people order?
The party rewards.
So they get rewards like prizes
Like
and stuff.
like free product and whatnot.
Free product and stuff. Got it. So you start doing this.
Yes.
And what happens?
It gets
First 90 days.
It gets huge. I was hosting tons of parties every month, and within that, what I realized was that I needed to meet these people. And so I started networking with my friends' people, and a lot of my recruits actually ended up coming from that, especially the customers. So I would become friends with them on Facebook and doing my customer service and following up with them and building that relationship. And they were becoming customers and friends of mine that eventually, most of them joined my team.
Right.
And so for 90 days, I did that. I was
in the first 90 days, how many people did you personally recruit? Approximately.
30 to 50.
30 to 50 people.
It was more than 30, but it might have been.
And from this tiny little town.
Yes.
Single mom.
All online.
Taking care of your son. All online. Right? And through the phone, I'm sure you're talking to people from time to time too, right?
A little bit, but mainly Facebook.
Going from $0, hoping to get a $10
Zero.
to $12 job, hoping to have daycare, going to school to get this second degree. How interesting was school at this point?
That month was when I hit the top rank. It was when I told my parents, I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not a quitter, but I'm not going back to school in January.
Right.
Yeah, and I was actually really close to being done again. And I couldn't put it together. There were already trips that I wanted to go on. I was seeing the benefits. I was being able to be with my son a lot more. And I was like, no, we're not going back to school. This is costing us too much money.
So you're like 25 at this point, something like that.
I think I was 25 because at the time I was the youngest to hit that rank.
Yeah. So you grow this thing, you're doing this thing, and it's like, what if it's working? Let's keep doing it. So how many parties are you hosting on a monthly basis?
Anywhere from 5 to 15.
5 to 15. And then you have people on your team, you're teaching them to do the same
Yes,
thing?
always duplication.
How many people on their team after 90, 120 days that were working with you, running with you?
400.
400.
And since we were so new, we were pretty solid.
Yeah. Okay.
Since it was such a new team, we were pretty solid.
Right.
I don't know that there's really ever been. My dad told me, and that was one of the reasons he supported it, was because he had someone years and years ago come into town and offer him an opportunity, one of the biggest companies ever.
Yep.
And he told them no, and that guy did go on to be a millionaire. But other than that, I don't know that guy ever even stayed in the town. But there hasn't ever really been anybody that has done it like this.
Some people say, well, I don't have a support system. I live in a small town and I have no support system, so I can't build.
Exactly. And I had that. Everyone thought I was crazy, and even my parents were like, no, what are you doing? You have to stay in school. And, I didn't care.
Right.
What did I have to lose?
Right.
I mean, I was in my 20s, and I saw the benefits. I could see the bigger picture, and that's all that really mattered to me.
You want to hear a scary thought?
Sure.
What if somebody offered you the president of the bank before you were introduced to this? You'd be the president of the bank in your local town that pay you $100,000 a year.
I probably wouldn't have taken it.
You wouldn't have?
I don't know.
When you're a single mom with
I
a
don't know.
5-month-old,
I didn't have any-
and your options were $12 an hour, and you were living in a double
I
wide.
probably would have really freaked out because I didn't grow my confidence until this.
I understand, but let's say no, for sure you can have it.
Yeah. Oh.
It would have just been a disaster.
Right.
Because you might be being a big shot, making your $100,000 and stuck.
Yeah, that's true.
Just totally stuck. Because after this, what happens? Second year, talk about what happens.
It doubled.
It doubled. So this year you finally bought a house.
I did.
So
3 months ago.
Tell me about the house.
We looked and looked and looked, and I found one where I walked in and I was like, this is it. It was location, it's 50 acres, I had my farm, and it was—
You got 50 acres, you got a farm. How big is the house? How many square feet?
6,500 square feet.
6,500 square feet in Lufkin, Texas.
And it's beautiful.
And it's beautiful. So what do people in the town say now about the girl on the hill with the little boy?
I heard that whenever I was actually buying it, they were like, oh yeah, that rich blonde girl.
You're the rich blonde girl now?
I was like, that's what y'all want to call me.
Are the cowboys coming around and saying, hey, looking for a date on Saturday night?
I think people are more intimidated.
Intimidated, sure. Yeah, but that's okay.
It is.
Yeah, they'll learn to live with it, or not.
Or not, pretty much.
Yeah. So 50 acres, you get the dream. 50 acres, you got your farm, you got this big, beautiful house. You probably can't even use the whole thing because, the two of you in this sprawling mansion in Lufkin.
We are basically living in the downstairs.
You're living in the downstairs, you don't even need the upstairs yet.
I'm turning a huge quarter upstairs into my office.
Okay.
2 big bedrooms into my office together.
Yeah, and this is still all built from your phone?
Everything.
So, first of all, I'll just tell you, congratulations.
Thank you.
On what you've done. For those watching this is not normal. It doesn't happen every day. You shouldn't expect this to happen unless you expect this to happen. You know what I mean? What we like to say inside of this profession is not everyone's going to go to the top. Not everybody's going to be $1 million earner, but anyone can.
Anyone can.
And your example highlights the fact that you've eliminated a lot of excuses for people. I'm a single mom. How do you expect me to do it? I live in a small town. How do you expect me to do it? I don't have this extra degree. How do you expect me to do it? How do I deal with daycare? How do you expect me to do it? All of these excuses that are just that. What caused you to keep driving when other people would have stopped?
Number one was for my son, of course. I will never forget the situation that we were in, even though I wasn't even raised like that. But that's what I had gotten us into.
What was it? Tell me about it.
Just poverty. I mean, we didn't live on the streets, but I mean, we would have if there wouldn't have been my parents supporting. And so to have absolutely no money, and I couldn't get him anything. And at that age, he wouldn't have known, but at the age he is now, I would hate to be able to tell him, no, you can't ever have those things. And so that was number one, was I didn't ever want to go back to where we were. And number two was I wanted to be successful. I had a passion. I knew that I wanted to do something big. When I was in college, I thought I was going to move to the city and go work in corporate America, and I wanted to climb a ladder. I was okay with that. And so I always wanted to be successful. And so that was one of the other big things for me. For a while, you have that fighter mode where everyone tells you can't do it. That pushed me for a long time. And then it's kind of shifted again into a place to where helping others and seeing how other people's lives, can and have been changed, and especially when, those lives are your friends. Right. And so that's at this point is the biggest motivator for me.
There's two sides of the friends thing, right? One side is when a friend gets involved and has success, and it's super fun. And the other side is when a friend gets involved and decides not to do it. It's like super bum.
I've been through both.
Of course.
I literally have had my best friends have signed up and not done anything, but end up being product users. And a lot of them did sign up because they saw what I was doing, but I've never let that bother me. And I've always told them I support you in either way. If you want to do what I've done, let's do it. Right. And I have a friend from college that's what she wanted to do. She told me when she joined, she wanted to make $500. And that was it. And then she has that hustle mode too, and she was like, I'm going to the top. Let's go. And we've done it together ever since. So I've experienced both, and both have been great. And I've never felt like I was let down or anything or like that. I like to. And the other side of your friends are the ones you meet, in the business, and then end up becoming your friends. Right. And that's
the relationships, the camaraderie,
That's
the
special
friendships
too.
are great. Yeah. So talk to me give me 3 lessons that you've learned over the course of this experience as you've grown your business. Things that have made a major difference for you.
I think one of my biggest lessons early on was I was dragging people and wanting it for them when they didn't want it for themselves. And so when I realized that that was not the way to go, that I could inspire them and motivate them, to want better, but at the end of the day, it was their decision. And so that was huge for me. And I still see that almost everybody in the industry, they just want it for other people more than they want it for themselves.
Fall in love with their potential.
Yeah, and so you push them, and sometimes if you push people like that, you push them away. Whereas you could take a step back and just try to inspire and motivate them the best way that you possibly can with your own successes and, sharing stories of others. And so really getting them to motivate themselves and want it for themselves.
Yep.
So I learned that after about 1.5 years. So made a huge difference. Another one was to not listen to what anybody else says. You are your own decision maker, and you get to decide your success or your failure. So I figured that out. And then I think the other would be more like learning how to share why you're doing what you're doing, not just what you're doing. I learned that attracts people and that interests people.
Give me an example.
And early was, I'm doing this because of what has happened. What's happened to me, how it's happened to other people, and I don't want that anymore. And now it's more of, I do this because I want others to have success, and I want others, to have confidence. And I'm really big on women power, which you are too. And there's been a shift. There was old days where women did not do anything; they didn't have a role, and then there was the age and the era where they did. My mom, for example, has always had a very powerful job. And then it shifted again to my generation to where it's like, you work? Shouldn't you be taking care of the kids? And so now we can have both. We can be successful, we can have powerful jobs or whatever it is, and we can have a family and still balance all of that together.
So I'd like you to do, just for perspective, think about the worst day you had in the last 3 years, business-wise. The worst circumstance, the worst experience. It was a down day. And, describe that to me, number one, and then what did you do about it?
I think it was, I had someone in my business that was family, and her circumstances were very similar to mine. And she was actually, had a very large team, and it's not something that she would have had normally. And we had really worked really hard for her to have that, and she gave it up and walked away and went somewhere else. And it was, because she was my family, first of all.
Yep.
And just because she walked away from something huge, and then it left a mess, within the organization, a huge mess. And that was hard. It was really, really hard. And I had to pick it up, and then I had to pick the pieces up. And, I said my piece and wished, them well. And then I went in and started picking up the pieces.
Yeah. So how long did you allow that to emotionally affect you? If you had to measure the time.
A couple weeks maybe.
Yeah. So it was a couple week deal, And like today, if you had the same situation happen, it probably won't be as long, will it?
It's just a day or two.
It's a day or two now because you got stronger. So it served you in the long run, And if it happens again, and it will, 3 years from now, it might be a couple hours, right?
And I think I've seen from the experience of what she walked away from. It's $1 million leg, and it's an international leg, a huge international leg.
Oh, so sad.
And so I've seen that everything works out, and to go in and do the right thing and pick up the pieces and work with the ones that are there. And now it's a much quicker process to get over.
Right. What's next for you?
I don't know yet. Sometimes I just sit there and think, I can't believe I have achieved this in such a short time.
Yeah. But
what I feel in me is that there's so much more I can do. There's so much more change that I can make. A lot of that impacting people's lives and women's lives and getting them to believe in themselves that they can be powerful. The more of that, the better off.
Yeah. So it's starting to shift, not as much about the money now as about the impact. You know, the contribution you're making to other people's lives. It's addicting, isn't it?
Yes.
When you feel like you're starting to help people.
Yes.
Because the cool thing is you can pretty much be done working for money by the time you're 30. And then spend the rest of the time working for legacy, for purpose, for growth, for contribution, you know, to be a difference maker in the world, even if it's just one person or whatever it happens to be. But in your case, it's a lot of people.
Right.
So that's really cool. Here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to look into that camera right there. And you know this audience. This is, you know, the Network Marketing Pro audience. They want success. They want what you have. They want to get past their limiting beliefs. They want to break through their fears. They want to build a big business. And sometimes they doubt themselves. Sometimes they're not sure. What I'd like you to do is just look at them and you have a conversation with them one-on-one and offer them some advice, whatever that advice would be, from your heart to theirs.
Hi. First of all, it is to believe in yourself. And sometimes that takes time. Whatever you have to do, write it down, read it to yourself every single day. But to believe that you can have the change, the impact, whatever it is that you are desiring, it's not what anybody else says. You have the control over that. Another part for me is just helping other people. The more people that you can reach out to and help and build them up and teach them the things that you know, and you also being open-minded and receiving and learning from them, your business, your team, it will grow tremendously, more than you can ever imagine. And always keeping that first, not trying to do this for your own personal gain. But when you put that into other people's lives and you are going to help them change theirs, it's inevitable that yours will completely change for the better.
That it? Awesome. Well, thank you for your contribution. Congratulations on your success. And I know this is just the beginning, so I'm looking forward to updates.
Me too.
As this continues to grow, it continues to expand. You continue to grow and expand. You continue to help other people. Congratulations on that. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you got some good lessons from this, some good ideas, some good insights, maybe a little bit more conviction as to what your limiting beliefs might be, that those are an illusion, that no matter your circumstance, you can break through and you can utilize the profession of network marketing to be able to build a life of your dreams, okay? So, from Whitney and myself, our wish for you is that you decide to become a network marketing professional, that you decide to go pro, because it is a stone cold fact that we do have a better way.
Yes, we do.
Now let's go tell the world. Everybody have an amazing day, have an amazing week, and we'll see you next time. Take care, bye-bye. Hey, my name is Eric Worre, and if you're involved in the network marketing profession, I want to invite you to come to the Network Marketing Pro YouTube channel. Every week, we put out content on how you can become a network marketing professional. We have tips, ideas, strategies, interviews with million-dollar earners in the profession, interviews with global icons like Tony Robbins or Sir Richard Branson, lots of different things that we provide. They're absolutely free. Do yourself a favor, click on the link, subscribe to the YouTube channel, tell your friends to do the same, and I can't wait to see you there.